I say the real nitty gritty. They're still trying. They're talking about in person. I think they maybe trying to put up a strong front. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna do some more, but I'm
Well,
gonna
for the past 40
finish
years,
when I
if you challenged
start.
any of those interpretations in court, you would 99 times out of 100 lose because the courts gave the discretion to the federal agency. However, and they say what they say.
All right, I'm gonna try to remember to label these two videos, but
Wetland subject to jurisdiction under the Waters of the U.S. Act. Basically, for the past 40 years, the laws that come out of Congress, they are what they are and they say what they say, but Chevron deference has allowed the bureaucrats over in Washington to interpret the definitions and the meanings of the words in the actual laws. And, well, for the past 40 years, if you challenged any of those interpretations in court, you would 99 times out of 100 lose because the courts gave the discretion to the federal agency. However, that all
the experts, and we all took that. Remember, like I said, all these, it's black folks that love that shit. These new age ones. Some of them ain't that much younger. I need to, okay, just anything feds, because the feds is a badge of honor to these young kids. In our day, you ain't even know about, nobody talked about the feds. Easy, they did, but they were talking about censorship. It wasn't until like the late 90s and 2000, feds. Maybe the middle 90s, UGK started talking about them like by 94, 95. The feds. Because, that mean you selling big weight, right? And plus the new laws, all of these new Democrat Fed laws, the whole niggas back. You're like, well, why would it don't matter? Because my point is, it just like anything. I'm gonna do a video, just like everything the feds do with Democrats. It's supposed to be for the safety of people, when really it's just to hold everybody, no matter what race you are, to hold you down if you're not going to toe the line and be a Democrat slave. Even the people they put in front as a Democrat senator, that they're beholden to somebody. Somebody is there, and it's like, I don't know why they like that. They love that shit. They got a leader, devil worshiping. They did some kind of ceremony, I suppose, and fucking elected Obama in '07, '08, before the goddamn election in '08, before he won. He was already elected worldwide. The communist devil worshippers elected Obama, and he's still their leader. I just don't, because obviously it has to be something with, you know, devil worship, demonic shit. He did something in them ceremonies back in '06, '07. Because the funny thing, I think I maybe said this once. I used to get magazines. I'm gonna say it right quick. I used to, one time by the time I was in Virginia, and whatever, the little I was stationed, and the little college kids knocked on the door, and college girls or whatever, and oh, can you help us, black kids? Can you, this, we're trying to, we're in college, we're doing this. Can you get subscription? All right. So what magazines do you watch? And like I said, I used to read magazines up until I was about 15, 16. I used to read them in class, all that. But so that's why I got it. But obviously, it caused some little drama because it wasn't. But at that age, at that point, she was only like 3, 4 years younger than us, right? Or younger, yeah. I'm like 24. 25, but I got 4 years in the military, 4.5. I feel like whatever. We living off post. So it's you like 18 or 19 or whatever. So like 5 years old. But I really was. But what really got me is magazines. And like, all right, so what? And I hadn't read them since like really. It didn't really. This is '98. So I guess I stopped reading them like 7 years before in '91, '90 or something like that. I used. Well, maybe I really didn't. I think I did used to keep buying them because I remember my homeboys got mad at me because I would, if I had $5 and this maybe was the communists, I didn't even know that shit. Cause they would joke about it. I thought they were just joking. Hey, remember we was in high school? We be riding or whatever. Somebody pick us up or we walk. And if I had $5, I would spend it on a car magazine. He brought it up. Matter of fact, the one who went to college and got his master's. And he would bring it up years later. He would bring it up. I think really after I got out the army and I was back home, and he's like, oh, yeah, he would get a. I thought he was just laughing because just reminisce of high school. Cause the pork rinds, cause I would buy a bag of pork rinds too for like 89 cents, and cause I got a $5 bill, I buy a car magazine for like 3 something and a bag of pork rinds, and they was like it's so stinky, but they was like you didn't buy all of us something. I'm like what? Every other time we did split everything, but the car magazine is like no, it wasn't. And he the only one said that. Like I said, the college boy, but all the rest of the Crips, everybody else, they thanked me years later. You was the only one who didn't get, this and that. Seriously. All of them like 6 foot something, 6'4". But he was the only one. The college, who was mad about the $5. I still think it's funny because yeah, it was a valid joke. It was. Cause you know, I thought it was, I did that was, but to them they take this shit serious. You was selfish. Everybody else, real niggas shit. That's how you know. That's what I'm talking about. Democrats, they worried about sharing food and money. It's like, we can get killed 2 seconds later after we walk out the store or whatever. And you like, well, you see, if I would have spent it all of us, but you with me or we together, so we ain't worried. I ain't worried about walking out this store or anything, or later tonight. Yeah, exactly. I ain't worried about none of that. So I'm gonna buy myself a fucking magazine. Yeah, exactly. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna treat myself to a fucking magazine and a goddamn bag of pork rinds when I got $5. Shit. But anyway, I bought the magazines, but whatever. This is years later now. But same thing,
changed with this latest ruling right here. You see, what happened was that back in the year 2020, a federal agency called the National Marine Fisheries Service passed a rule which forced fishing companies to pay for the cost of federal monitors which were assigned to their boats. Meaning that if you ran a small fishing boat, let's say you were fishing for herring somewhere on the East Coast, well, the government was not only going to assign an agent to come onto your boat and watch you as you work, but you also had to foot the bill. And the cost of these government monitors was not cheap. It was upwards of $700 per day, which of course might be fine for a huge corporate fishery, but for small owner-operated businesses, well, it was enough to completely wipe out their profits. Now, the government agency behind this mandate, they claimed that the Fishery Conservation and Management Act of 1976 gave them the authority to charge companies these fees. But of course, as you likely guessed, it was not in the letter of the law. There's nothing in that law that said that they can charge this fee. Rather, it was this agency's interpretation of that law. And so, 2 companies filed 2 separate lawsuits against the government saying that these fees were illegal. These 2 companies, just for your reference, they were Loper Bright Enterprises and Relentless Incorporated, both of which are herring fisheries located on the East Coast. Eventually, these 2 cases were consolidated, and after about 4 years of legal
you know what I was starting to say? All right, y'all can, whatever. Goddamn. All right, what I was going into to the pork rind debacle. Uh, or the, so she's like, well, what that type, and I guess, she's mad, that I'm talking to her all this long, but I'm really like, oh, because it was a dude there too. But I'm like, what magazines you got for real? And this really helped us. I don't give a fuck about. Oh, you can get. They didn't have them on them, but the list. Oh, Motor Trend. That's when I'm. So at that point, that's when I started learning. I ordered magazines again. McLaren. This is like '97. I had the issue where in the McLean, I mean Saline, the Saline, and was the fastest production. And but in the early '80s, I mean late '80s, early '90s, Saline, the drug outlets. And matter of fact, one of my company commanders when I first got to Fort Bragg in my company, he had a white Saline. He was like a tall, skinny white dude, captain. Obviously, well anybody that know military, the company commander, he had a little white saline, not little, this Mustang 5.0, saline, right? White with blue saline at the bottom. He the only officer that I ever saw was that cool that had a fucking saline. He had a say, you know. But it then, Saline started making Steve Saline started making his own supercars by '98. And then you had the other, so which one of them, I had the episode, the issue where they broke for a production car, even though Saline or McLean aren't like Ford or Lamborghini, it's still a production car. If was in the cars, the must have been the McLean, the first one to do over two something, the 01 Corvette. I don't remember all this shit. Anyway, point is that's when I was talking to her, I didn't think about all this. It just reminded me, when I was a kid, I was like, damn, been years since, ain't that long. I'm only like 24, but I'm just saying, so I ordered, and one of them was a Black Enterprise magazine, and that was a business magazine. Or either after I got the Army, and they kept sending me, that you can renew the same company. And for years, I kept getting the magazines, even up until like '04. They finally just stopped. But I would get Black Enterprise, and it's just like because I also used to get Entrepreneur magazine, and it's just on the ones that be having that shit, about some kind of 15, 25, $100 cart that you can buy and make all and vend them. All it's just basically entrepreneur, just anything. I was but Black Entrepreneur magazine or Black Enterprise or whatever it wasn't like Ebony and all this. It wasn't about fashion and celebrity. It was business, and it's like '03. But I think I was still getting up. But all I'm saying is like 1 year, like '06. There's a picture of a black guy on the train in Chicago, a light skinned dude or whatever, and they're doing the regular shit. It almost looked like and I thought it then. It was like a photo op. He's on the train. Oh, young black senator. Had nothing to do. I didn't. I didn't buy it then. I'm looking for cheap franchises. Yeah, exactly. A franchise that you can buy. Obviously the goals would be something like a Subway. The big ones. But obviously that was out of my pocket. But I didn't know I was actively being sabotaged. So, but anyway, you see that he's on the subway, but the L. If y'all anybody the elevated trains, and it's a photo op. He's laughing. It looked like he's trying to emulate an album from the '60s or '70s, but he had on a suit. He smiled, and it was him, Obama, and I never forgot. I never forgot him. 2 years later, he's fucking president. Unknown senator. And that's what the article said. I didn't even really too much read it. I promise you. '06. Brand new. Everybody know his history, but I saw him in '06. Black Enterprise magazine. Yeah, I guess you could Google it or something. Black Enterprise or Black Entrepreneur. He was in it. You're like, what does that have to do? It was just, same Democrat. He's black. And he's a senator from Chicago. And he da 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 da. Or whatever he, this and that. I didn't buy it then because the photo I didn't. It just looked too posed. Like he's not looking. He's looking away from the camera. He's looking out. He's sitting in the window. You ever rode subways or the bus? He's sitting looking, and the sun is shining. So the sunshine. It's like they waited. You see how the sun's shining like that right there. It's like they waited till the sun is coming into the window and that. No, I said this. This is not me. Like, oh, you was. I didn't know. You didn't know, so it couldn't be hate. 2 years later, this motherfucker is president, and I knew it then. It's like all he gonna do is to be the first black president. Nothing. Nothing. I didn't know why I thought that because I didn't wasn't paying attention to politics like that. And not only did he do, he would actually his legacy would be better if all he did was be the first black president. Just you know, come up, show up, and do his job, not do nothing special. But he actually literally tried to destroy the country. So anyway, back to this shit.
There's nothing in that law that said that they can charge this fee. Rather, it was this agency's interpretation of that law. And so, two companies filed two separate lawsuits against the government saying that these fees were illegal. These two companies, just for your reference, they were Loper Bright Enterprises and Relentless Incorporated, both of which are herring fisheries located on the East Coast. Eventually, these two cases were consolidated, and after about 4 years of legal back and forth, the U.S. Supreme Court took them both up, heard both sides of the argument, and they eventually ruled in both cases against the government. All right, just to pause here for a super quick moment. Listen, it's OddFuture's bullion dealer. And besides my super friendly staff who you can call and 5532, I'll also throw a link by Chief Justice John Roberts, here Clarence Thomas and Sam Alito, all voting to overturn the Chevron doctrine. As a part of the majority opinion, which just for your reference was written by Chief Justice John Roberts, here is what it said.
And that's another thing with the rest of it. There's nothing y'all can do from now on. Y'all might be like, well, we can win and da 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 da. We can stack the courts and turn it over. You know, the rest. You think the country really want to let y'all put them? It wasn't even about just the mask mandate, and that was fucked up. And the jab. Because people, nurses, remember nurses had to lose their job, military personnel, or was forced. You think people want to go through it? So there's no way unless you can actually forcefully or shenanigans, there's no way you're going to win again. So why y'all even try to still talk shit like y'all have a chance to do anything?
Chevron's presumption is misguided because agencies have no special competence in resolving statutory ambiguities. Courts do. The framers anticipated that courts would often confront statutory ambiguities and expected that courts would resolve them by exercising independent legal judgment. Chevron gravely erred in concluding that the inquiry is fundamentally different just because an administrative interpretation is in play. Then, in order to assuage the concerns from those who support the Chevron doctrine, Justice John Roberts, he wanted to indicate that this new ruling, it will not suddenly invalidate tens of thousands of past cases, but instead, it should be applied moving forward. Quote, by overruling Chevron, though, the court does not call into question prior cases that relied on the Chevron framework. The holdings of those cases, that specific agency actions are lawful, are still subject to statutory stare decisis despite the court's change in interpretive methodology. Mere reliance on Chevron cannot constitute a special justification for overruling such a holding. Meaning, in plain English, that this ruling will not suddenly turn everything upside down by rendering 18,000 plus cases invalid, but rather that moving forward, there will no longer be this deference to the agencies in terms of legal interpretation. It'll be the courts themselves that'll once again have the full authority to interpret the law, with judges being the arbiters of deciding what a given law actually means. And in addressing the criticism that judges are not subject matter experts, while the bureaucrats over in Washington are, Justice John Roberts wrote the following, quote, Congress expects courts to handle technical statutory questions. Many statutory cases call upon courts to interpret the mass of technical detail that is the ordinary dyad of law, and courts did so without issue in agency cases before Chevron. Courts, after all, do not decide such questions blindly. The parties and the friends of the court in such cases are steeped in the subject matter, and reviewing courts have the benefit of their perspectives. In an agency case in particular, the court will go about its task with the agency's body of experience and informed judgment, among other information, at its disposal. Meaning, in a practical sense, that the idea that judges are going to be flying blind is not true, given the fact that they can call upon the expertise of many different parties. In a separately concurring opinion,
that's what they supposed to do. And like I said, nobody questions a judge who sentences a convicted murderer. The jury convicted him, da 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 da. Like I said, is the judge a detective or a medical examiner? Now, as far as I did say, defense, obviously the judge, it was either, the judge might have been both. I was a prosecutor and then I switched over and been a defense attorney. And now that they're a judge. That part they know. They know the law if they're, hearing cases like that. But he don't have to be a medical examiner or a detective or even a rookie cop who happened to he got to come and testify. I found this, or I pulled somebody over and da da da. They had a dead body, this or that, all, he don't have to be an expert. He's a judge or she's a judge, She came up, but anyway, they don't have to, so they have people. So this whole thing, like I said, and I thought about some more. Like, well, it was Chevron, money, exactly. No, the judge. We believe the judge, and there was corrupt judges. I guess Supreme Court, whoever in the '80s. I don't know. We didn't. Shit, I was a kid, but what is because as right now it's like, how could they ever have agreed with that? We're gonna defer. That's lazy, cowardly, and lazy. No, if we're gonna be overburdened because now we got it. Oh well, that's your fucking job. You're Supreme Court for life. The only one I know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yeah, female. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. But it had to be females who was like, well, yeah, we don't want too much work, so we'll just, and that's sensible. Like when that, because females, especially women with child, I don't know, look like Ruth Bader. Did she have children? Whatever. Anyway. They always think, because when I have problems, or even my husband, that's why women shouldn't be in powerful positions, because they'll defer and think that's a good thing for the whole, whatever they're in charge of. It's like, no. Rest of us, you got to do it. You remember back in the day when we was kids, guys who were in charge of stuff, they ran their family like that. Some people hated it, but majority of people, they appreciate it. Dad ran it just like he was, dad was a drill sergeant, dad was this and that, dad was a colonel, dad was this and that, blah blah blah, dad was a CEO, he ran his family. A woman is the opposite. She gonna run her position, CEO, like her family. Like I said, my personal experience, would be like at a warehouse. Y'all just like my children, y'all getting on my nerves. The same situation if a man is in charge, like, yo, we ain't doing all of you. Look, one, you need to do exactly what we got to do. We all came here to work. It ain't got to be, even in the military, even the 82nd or whatever. You get down with it or you can leave. Female, you know what? She just gonna give in. To me, that also could have happened. All them first female Supreme Court judges. This is just too much, we'll just, let the experts handle it, it's like, no, all you gotta do is just listen, give them a fucking deadline, and that's it. Yeah, y'all got 3 days, and you got 2 weeks, and then you got 3 days to present your cases, because this is very complicated, each one of you, so that's 6 days in total, 6 business days, da da da. All you gotta do is put your foot down. That's the end of it. Oh, you ain't gonna be burdened. Put you down for this. Quit being a fucking coward. The people's lives, exactly. You got other millions of people's lives at stake. It's not about feelings and no. Put your fucking foot. They feel and get hurt. Oh well. They didn't belong in that position in the first place. This ain't no fucking game.
In a separately concurring opinion, Justice Neil Gorsuch, he added the following, quote, "Today, the court places a tombstone on Chevron no one can miss. In doing so, the court returns judges to interpretive rules that have guided federal courts since the nation's founding." And so there you have it. The conservative majority on the court, they put the decision-making power once again regarding laws back into the hands of the elected lawmakers. And if there's any ambiguity, that power now goes to the judges to decide what the law actually means. And indeed, shortly after
That's their job, the law. Not you like, well, that's what they were trying to say. Give it to the act. No, that is literally like giving criminal law to, well, like I said, well, they're not an expert. The judge, don't give it to the judge. It's ambiguity though. There's gray areas. Just give it to an expert. No. The judge is supposed to interpret the law. If he don't understand, he or she, they don't recuse them. They look, y'all bring in y'all, and that's what people are mad about. Rich folks, like I said, a murder case, who's going to be the expert? For poor people, it's going to be the medical examiner. Rich people, they can hire their own specialist, medical examiner, like, and there's nothing the judge and nobody can do. Now it's up to the state to prove that this guy either been bribed or da. But no, most sane people gonna hire a medical expert that's not a crook, that got a spotless record to examine. Like, look, examine the body. No, we want to examine the body too, and da this and that. You don't want no shenanigans. You want the motherfucker that's gonna be like, I'm not finna tarnish my reputation. You this and that. Yeah, exactly. Like somebody like me, I ain't talking about being in, I'm just saying, yeah, you ain't gonna, you put my ass on the line. I don't care how much money you give me. It ain't worth it. Fuck that. But yeah, okay, I'll take your fee and I'll look at it and I'm gonna give you exactly what it do. All I'm saying is if you don't like the outcome and the person's a sane person, okay, I don't care. But I know I didn't do it. So if it somehow still looks like me, I don't know what's wrong. I need to hire somebody else. But if you did it just trying to get out of trouble, you wasting money. You need to save that money to put on your books. So you can hire the gang, not even that, so you can buy pussy while you in prison, from the guards. Yeah, what, the female guards and shit. But anyway.
And indeed, shortly after this U.S. Supreme Court ruling was handed down, well, the lawsuits began to pour in, and some of them are beginning to prove successful. For instance, back in the year 2020, the Department of Health and Human Services, they interpreted the phrase "on the basis of sex" to actually mean on the basis of gender identity, and therefore, they expanded the protections of the Affordable Care Act to transgenders, meaning that doctors and insurers, they were at risk of having their federal funding pulled if they refused to comply with the demands of transgender Americans, despite the law not mentioning anything about gender identity or transgenderism. However, following this new U.S. Supreme Court ruling, well, a federal judge over in Mississippi, he put a stop to this new rule because the doctrine of Chevron deference is no longer in place. Well, the Department of Health and Human Services can no longer make such interpretations. And this type of thing is happening at many other federal agencies as well. For instance, you have the Department of Education, which is now being challenged by those who are saying that they went well beyond their authority when they plan to forgive a massive amount of student loan debt. You have the EPA, which is getting challenged by those who are saying that their new rule forcing companies to capture 90% of their carbon dioxide emissions is well beyond the authority that they were given. You have OSHA getting challenged on their new climate-based rules, and so on and so forth. This is just the new reality. And again, this is all happening because the underlying legal framework that allowed these agencies to basically...
And that's another thing. He mentioned climate. There's no, that little blue thing about climate, the WE, yeah, exactly. Because them agencies, because that's what they used to use to put them things there, them little, whatever, YouTube shits. The such and such is recognized, climate change is recognized, see, it's done. All of it was a bullshit. And some of y'all, I never believed, but yeah, but you believed in the other Democrat shit. That's what I told y'all. You got to watch You're like, well, you all in with the Republic because I do my research, and but not only that, I do research because I'm naturally. What part don't you understand? So it's not a burden to me or wasting time or whatever.
Interpret the law however they want, it's been scrapped. Although, as to whether this is really a good thing or not, well, I'd love to know your thoughts, because there really are two ways to look at it. On the one hand, it might be true that some decisions regarding interpretation of laws is very, very technical. One example that was given during this particular U.S. Supreme Court case was trying to figure out whether an alpha amino acid polymer qualifies as a quote-unquote protein under the Public Health Services Act. Thousands of decisions like these require.
Now, see something like that. Obviously, like I said, obviously, duh, you ain't never been to law school. That ain't the point. A judge would not understand. I know all that from movies, TV shows, 80s, 90s, same shit. That's where I get that from. The judge gonna be like, talk to me, or maybe even 60 Minutes or whatever. Back in I'm talking about 86, not the new communists. They was already communists, but back then they was trying to hide it. 60 Minutes or 2020 or whatever, one of them Sunday show, night show or whatever. Cause like I said, that's where I really learned the difference between a Hungarian made AK-47 and a Japanese, or what was it, Chinese made AK-47. Whichever, you got to know which what you're getting. Cause the Hungarian, that's what they, like I said, they, either way. But I had been watching 60 Minutes. And I started hipping niggas, you gotta make, find out which AK you got. This was like 89 or something. I was like 15. But, I just watched it. I didn't know it was gonna be there. I didn't, whatever. I watched 60 Minutes every week, probably every Sunday. And that just happened to be on that Sunday, whatever. That where I get here. It was been known that we go through car doors and into houses and all that shit, but basically, yeah, ain't no ducking.
Require very specialized expertise, which might bog down the court. And so that's the argument.
But the point is, so like this one right here, whatever the fuck, yeah, alpha amino acid polymer, it sound like whatever the fuck it is, polymer, isn't that plastic or something, or
regarding interpretation of laws is very, very technical. One example that was given during this particular U.S. Supreme Court case was trying.
But the judge ain't supposed to decide. Yeah, he's not a scientist. He interprets the law, and that's the end of it. So no, you don't defer to the experts or some expert division of the federal government. No, it's the judges. And like I said, well, y'all better come and explain. If you're not good at talking and explaining, then, but you're good at whatever that is, polymer, and you good at if you're good in the laboratory, hey, no. If you're supervisor, I need you to explain. You're the only one, then you just got to suck it up and go before the judge. But if you got other people, Dave is way better at explaining and da 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 than I am. But you're the guy. This is your discovery. Yeah, but I don't. Exactly. I'm not comfortable. Da 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 da. Okay, well, Dave better study up. That's all that mean.
Figure out whether an alpha amino acid polymer qualifies as a quote-unquote protein under the Public Health Services Act. Thousands of decisions like these require very specialized expertise, which might bog down the court. And so that's the argument for Chevron deference. However, that specialized expertise can always be brought in as subject matter experts to the court. Because on the other hand, moving forward, the decision surrounding the interpretation of these laws will be made by people who have no vested interest. Because the regulators at these federal agencies, who have been for the past 40 years charged with interpreting the statutes that limit or expand their own authority, is like having the fox guard the henhouse. Amazingly, very often, those bureaucrats expand their own authority. Who would have thought? On the flip side, however, Federal judges, they are appointed for life, and they have to recuse themselves from cases in which they have either personal involvement or some kind of an interest at stake. Now, of course, no system.
So yeah, it's like, well, Chevron case. You own a whole bunch of stock or whatever. Yeah, I can't hear this case.
It's perfect. But just looking on the face of it, it would seem that the new setup would lend to less government overreach and less potential for corruption, even if it makes the whole process slower. But I'd love to know what you think.
And like I said, if it makes it slower, oh well, then you just gotta one retire. You're a Supreme Court judge. You can't hang no more. And it's like, well, you got the knowledge. Well, that's why we elect, you know, the right, people who gonna put the right judges in charge. If you can't hang, this is too much. Oh, is it our docket and da 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 da? I can't hear all these. No, no, no. You work for the people. You're 70 years old. Yeah, you probably do need to retire. You're appointed for life, but you need to goddamn. You can't hang. You know. It's too much. We need, no, they shouldn't repeat. No, it's like, nope, you gotta handle that shit. You know, but I gotta. I'll be right back. This sounds. That can't be right. All right, so let me finish this part. How the wind stop blowing this? All right, here's another one right quick. I'm gonna do right quick.
Both with Democrats. That's weird. Maybe it has something to do with this though. I gotta just pull something from the vibe, back in the brain. Remember when Kanye? Remember
That's
this
another
kid
thing.
named
How come, even though they keep trying to say Hochul, all of them, well, remember what's his name? Swalwell, Eric Swalwell, Fang Fang was her name, and she was a spy. And honestly, that's what I'm talking about. Like I said that yesterday, Sunshine, or a lot of with Crowder. With me, that's what I'm saying. That's why they, for all niggas, gangster. And like I said, and this is a historical, recorded statistical fact. One, for white boys, it really wouldn't be no NWA. They the ones who bought all that shit. That's why all of them got in trouble, not just NWA. Now I remember as a kid, I had it. I was like, I couldn't play it like that, but in my house, all them church women. But when they started getting in trouble, I remember them talking to each other. I was like, by then I was 14, and Straight Outta Compton was out. This was and they knew. That's where I get it from. They was like, all them white boys are buying it. That's what they said. It's the white kids. That's why they said that. But see, they did. None of us understood. They they was talking about that's why and it was a they. But back then we thought it was just all white people. It was the Democrats and rhinos, fake Republic. Yeah, exactly. Eazy went to the White House to meet. What did he meet? George Bush. Yeah, that. But either way, that's what I'm saying. Democrats. It was Democrats who were mad. And like I said, now I know why. Cause like I said, oh wait a minute, y'all not slaves. Y'all don't need Jesse Jackson. No, this music is saying we don't need. What about fuck that? And that's just like now. They always taking it. Just like what I'm also gonna show. They always take something and try to turn it into, oh, this is dangerous. Fuck the police is dangerous. Nobody. You know what? Like I said, my whole when fuck the police for yeah, that was my shit. One of my favorites. I can't say at all because it was '88. It was just too much out. Big Daddy Kane. It was just too much shit. Rakim and Eric B. and Rakim's second album. Microphone. It just I can't say fuck the police was my favorite but it was my top 5 or 10. Top 10 or top 5. Whatever. Yeah, Too Short Too Short became nationwide. That was his second album. All that Life Is Too. It was just too much. But fuck the police. I never even thought anything about the police. The lyrics that's what I'm saying. But the reason I loved it, the lyrics was dope, but it didn't hypnotize none of it. I think everybody, we literally, matter of fact, we be rapping in class. Fuck the police. And I don't even think the teachers got those. Y'all need to stop. No, they was like, y'all need to shut up and study for your test. That's all it was, but not those. Y'all told so. This, that, and the other. But it wasn't. Fuck it. But y'all gonna do something to us and that. No, our classmates were getting killed, but the teacher, And so and you can't even say, well, it was just some kind of song with just a hook, a catchy hook, and a dope beat. No, the lyric that's why I loved it the most. The lyrics were so dope. Ice Cube, it was just this shit was dope. I did. To this day, you come straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. I'm not the other color, so police think. But I never. That's what I'm saying. You see, none of that made me even once think. And once I got 2 years older, down 16, 17. Oh, I can't go out because we wasn't going. That's what I'm saying. Y'all get hypnotized by music. Y'all phony. Y'all can live in. I don't care where you live. All this shit, female, y'all. That's effeminate. You know, The things I do, I don't do it because I heard it in music. Like I said, to me, it's the same. I've been said it. When I was 3, 4 years old, and we spending the night with my cousins, and obviously our, the whole family or whatever, or at least the whatever, all of them that got kids my age, all of their cousins, so their first cousins or whatever, and all of us are, their kids, and we're 4 years, and we're just having a ball because now it's time to go to bed. And I never, it just, we did, it was the same thrill. One of us, we look down the steps or sneak out. They put us all on the floor, whatever. My point in saying all this is the same thrill. I didn't think about it then, but looking back, hindsight, you're 17, 16, whatever, going to a party, it's the same thrill. The homies there. When I was in the Army, Fayetteville, I'm a paratrooper. Same thrill, like I said. Shit, I done just got off. It's Wednesday. Like I said, Fayetteville, there was somewhere at the years I was there, every night there was somewhere to go. PT, you did PT, ran, I don't know how many miles, push up, sit up, 5 miles. So, this is a regular basis. This ain't, on a special 5 o'clock, yeah, hit the chow hall, then go hit the shower, then you hit the street. It's the same thrill. It's the same thrill as being in high school, trying to, whatever, getting in trouble, selling drugs. All it's the same. It's the same shit. And no, it's like, well, you mean no? When I was a family, no, we wasn't doing nothing like that. No, it's just, just. But they tried all this. That's why I kept telling that shit phony, man. Y'all, I said y'all diversity hires. That mean you ain't got to end. Yeah, you wasn't born with it. And they ain't got what I'm saying. Like 1,000 years ago, men like me, we still would do the same. Not we still would be searching for stuff. Exactly. It don't have to be. It has nothing to do with race. That's why I kept telling y'all is that you just don't have it in you as a male, and that's fine. You ain't got to be. You don't have to. You ain't got to be a tag along or this and that or none of that. You still the homie. Oh shit. But you know, they lied to y'all with all these fake celebrities. Oh, you got to be tough and not even tough. All these spiderhead ass niggas. The Migos and all that fuck nigga shit. Ain't no hate, but. And so yeah, the Chinese spies, and like we said, it's only Democrats that been infiltrated by Chinese. And what I was saying is, if it was me, but I'm not a Democrat, so she wouldn't even fuck with me. The spy. I'm not mad at what I'm saying. Yeah, all she would have got was wet pussy. She would have been, the Chinese spy. No, seriously. Well, what about this? Just like the pillow talk. Ain't no pillow talk. See it, bitch. If I'm still here, I'm going to sleep. Or if we're still together, if I hey, blah blah blah. I never had that. That's what I'm saying. I never had to say anything about my people. Women that knew me, they don't know nothing about my job or when I was in the military or or any job that was important like that. And it wasn't a thing where, let me be quiet or let me not say. No, it wasn't even that. The briefings I had, top secret. I don't care. Yeah, exactly. We don't care. That's what you say, y'all. That's what y'all. That's why. That's what their whole plan with all of you gotta, respect women and this and that. No, they changed. I'm telling you, they changed your whole attitudes. Where you got to respect. You're not respect. That's the whole point. Women don't like niggas like that. And it's biblical. It goes back to thousands to the beginning of time. She know you soft. She telling you the rest of us. She know we going to sleep, or we leaving, or putting her out. One or the other. She got to go. Or if we're staying together, I'm going to sleep. Don't ask me. Don't even ask me about that shit. But only Democrats keep getting played like that. But see, the point is what we're saying. I don't think they got played. I think Hoko or Swalwell, they knew the whole time what they were doing. It's not, yeah, exactly. That's the point. They're not even getting played. They knew what they were doing. Being traitors, treason. But this guy, or this channel,
And as long as I have a voice, I will try to use it for you guys.
now this is what I said this too. When it first came out, what was that, last week? Yeah, then we rearrested the father. And remember, I said it's just so perfect that the father, but okay, why you not arresting? And they're like trying to be smart. Well, what did the feds do? They was there, gross negligence, dereliction. It's just like, you know what? This might not, whatever. This presidents is set. Say you're a truck driver and you just don't, you literally forget to set your air brakes. Anybody been truck driving, CDL, and you kill maybe 2 people, you might have to do 5-6 years involuntary vehicular or whatever, or negligence, because that's your job. That you're a professional. You're supposed to know. So the feds, you're like, well, how can they charge the feds? Because the feds went to that boy house a year ago, and they get, well, isn't that nope. Like I said, if you're, or you're a professional chef, you forget to do one step, you forget to sanitize your, and everybody gets salmonella, and a couple of people die, or you forget you, or not forget, but the refrigerator went down last night, but you still used the chicken that was in the, yeah, you said, well, it's still good, and people, so you did it on purpose. I mean, you might not even did it with malice. You're just thinking it's still good. That's why you get like 60, because when people still died. So these feds is like, yeah, okay, you charging the father, but coming after gun regular, like he said, the rest of us is like, no, you can't come after us. Go after the feds, Democrats.
See what
Because they were the ones holding the press conference, black Democrat. Oh, we need to. Like I said, they don't say nothing about black folks killing other black folks with illegal guns. These little young knucklehead, spiderhead niggas killing everybody. They don't say shit about that.
See, I know each and every one of you cherishes your Second Amendment right, not only for yourself, but to pass on to the next generation. And you're all very similar in a mindset of these are blessings, these are rights, this is a responsibility, and you're not going to take it from us. I respect that. And I cherish that because you guys are all in unison of the same cord, of the same cloth. Now, when these people come forward and they try to go after you and malign you as something different, nope. They are ceding the moral high ground. They will not be granted it anymore because what we're about to show you is
this was 2 days ago. Yeah, you're not. That's why. Remember, I said that about everything. Yeah, you're not gonna be granted this. I don't know why we let y'all get away with it, but I know why. It was a game. Y'all kept us separated, and y'all, you tried to confuse even me. Like I said, it worked a little bit, and I'm not giving you credit. You could tell the fake ones, because some fake ones like us, they be like, not what I'm saying. Fake ones who try to say they like us. They're like, yo, I gotta give Clinton credit. No, like, no, that's no credit. You don't give the devil credit. You crazy as fuck. There's no, it's like, nah, bro. I think it was that Rubin report or whatever. Like, nah, bro. But like I said, they always tell on themselves.
That's happening in red states, and it's going to be reported all over the place, and it's not happening in blue states when it's all about the children. Okay? The moral high ground thing that they try to take on the gun control side, gun control politicians, and then blast you for how dare you hold to your rights. Yeah, let's get it. It will not be tolerated anymore, at least on this channel or any channels I'm affiliated with. Let's get it.
father of Georgia school shooting suspect told investigators he purchased the gun as a holiday present for son, sources say. As you can see,
Ain't that so convenient? Remember, I said that, days ago. It's so convenient. He just yeah, I purchased and then like what he's gonna say. Like we knew because they actually, I give the local news a little credit. They said that immediately. They did say that. He's more. This guy is more of a Langley outdoor. He's more of an expert. He said that, but they said I said immediately that they knew they had came to this guy because this kid he made a threat, and it's like who the I don't care. I went to a white school, literally in Georgia. Maybe not this city, but it was Roswell. It wasn't Atlanta, but it was 86, 87, 88. There was kids who was getting nobody wanted to kill anything. That was so. Remember, that's why I get the jokes about white boys and this, the white boy shit. The white boy. Hell, I remember when he would always fuck with me, and black folks, y'all would think, and I'm man up the minute, y'all would think you let a white boy stuck his finger in the ear, Wet Willie, yeah, exactly. No, because I get him back, the same thing. It isn't it? Nope. It's not, I don't, you don't do a wet willy after you did it once. You don't stick your finger back in your mouth after you stuck your finger in another. I don't care what color. This nigga, he stuck his hand, his pinky or whatever. It might wet willy. And you say wet willy. All right, nigga. Whatever. No, I didn't get mad. I'm gonna get you. My point is, and this ain't about what I'm saying is he's white. It ain't about race, it's about getting, so-called, I guess everybody picked him. He's 14. I was 14 in an all-white school in Georgia. He's actually white in an all-white school. So why, no, I'm not laughing about people, but also he killed one of the black dudes, And like, I'm just thinking, I didn't feel, they bullied it, none of that shit. You know, I remember the only time I almost got to fighting, as far as that, we was on the school, we was about to get on the school bus. And I admit, I did it. I started it. I did, well, I don't know if I started it, but I also admit, this is why it's funny. This is like 7th grade. I did the shit from the movies. I can't do it because I got to hold my phone. But you look at 80s movies, that shit where you hold one fist and the fight sign. Okay, we gonna fight. And it was kind of like Eddie Murphy. He said, "Okay, whoa, you ain't supposed to. No, you're supposed to say no." You know? No, he wasn't bigger than me. We the same. I don't know what we was. I don't know why we was beefing, but it wasn't about. You see what? No, it had nobody. None of the rest of the kids on the bus. I had friends and girls that wouldn't. Whatever. I'm just. I don't know what we was beefing about, but I decided to do the fist thing. When you sit, and I guess I'll do this. You do this shit. He just said, okay. Wait, whoa, okay. You was supposed to get scared. What you mean, okay? The bus stop gonna stop. Or 3 o'clock or something. I don't know, maybe it was in the morning. Yeah. He said, okay. Whoa, no, that means. But my point, yeah, that's what okay. All this, that's why this is highly, again, it's just too convenient. I bought, and then like they said, the feds came to his house, talked to him and the son, like in August of that year or whatever, because he's making threats, he gonna do this to the whole school. And so this guy decides on Christmas to buy him a rifle, which is fine, but the son already said he gonna do this and that to the school. Why? And this is too convenient. And if that's the case, just make an example of both of them. Give them the death penalty. The kid is charged as the capital punishment in the story. So the next father who has a son who makes a threat online, the feds have to show up. And he'll think, you know what, this is not a good Christmas or birthday gift. And you're like, well, that's not a deterrent. Yes, it is. Y'all just full of shit. Y'all just don't like the, capital punishment. It's not a deterrent. Yes, it is. I know for a fact it's a deterrent. Whatever, the gas chamber, hold your breath, or lethal injection or whatever. But you're like, well, that's what we're talking about. They shouldn't blame the father. Well, look, the kid, he's charged as an adult. Once y'all go through all the appeals, 15, 20 years from now, and he's 14 right now, he's 34 years old. But really, this Georgia, he should be, 5 years from now, be on the news. Whoever he is, his name, it is it. Lights out. So the next kid, because, maybe, I don't know, they thinking about, maybe going out or, shooting their classmates or whatever and doing this and that. It's like, no, you got to spend a couple of years with full-grown adults in prison on all that, and then you going to get, by the time you're 18 or 19, you're going to the, the chamber or whatever. And it, that's it. There's no, we need gun control. Nope, you're not at all. All of it is illegal, unconstitutional. It won't bring them back. We're not trying to bring them back, dumbass. I'm a Christian. Yeah, I know you can't bring them back. I'm not even trying to feel better. I'm just telling you, it is a deterrent. And also, you'll get over it. That's your problem. You're not a Christian. That's why you can't get over it. You can't get over the idea that, this 14-year-old will be sentenced capital punishment. Because you don't have nobody. All you people, you only have other atheists to talk to. They don't know how to counsel you. They can't help you get over it. So that's your problem right there. The rest of us, we ain't got no problem. I'll flip the switch. There you go.
This was breaking as of about an hour ago. Now, this is coming after, so this was Christmas of 2023. Well, you know what else happened in 2023? Yeah, in May, the FBI visited this kid for threatening to shoot up a school. It's fully reported.
Yeah, like I said, they try to be smart. So what could you charge it? Like I said, same thing as you charge a bus driver, a truck driver who didn't put on any brakes, who just took off without letting his air brakes, fill up and killed 1 or 2 people or 4 people in a car wreck. You didn't do your duty. Dereliction of duty. That's at least that's something. 7 years and it sets the precedent. So the rest of because think about it, that's your job. Your job is gone. Your retirement, your insurance, health care, and it's only 7 years, but think about what that person lost. Y'all don't see bums don't understand that. You didn't lost everything. All because either you made a mistake or made a bad call, and yes, Everybody's human, but like I said, in my experience, there's certain things. It's no such that. Yeah, it's like no, there's no way. That's why you train over and over and over and over. That's why you do it all. Like I said, in peacetime, well, whatever, not peace. The military, you train over and over and over again, over so till you can do it in your sleep, till you can do it in your sleep. That's the whole point. You know, that's why we gone for 2 weeks. Every whatever. We always gone 2 weeks here, 2 weeks a month here, or whatever. That's why we always gone. So you don't make a mistake like that. There's no excuse. Y'all is sec. It's like the way you can is now. It's like you're breathing. Your job is, with that type of training, you're an agent. Should be like military. It's just like you're breathing, eating, sleeping, shitting. That you can do it. You did. We couldn't figure out a way to. It's not even figure out a way. You can spy, like I said, you spy on me. You know everything I do on this phone, that phone, my other phone, but you can't. They tried to say they couldn't prove this. Get the fuck out of here. You know everywhere I go, but you ain't know where this boy was or what that he. Yeah, they tried to say they can't. They couldn't. They paid him a visit, but they couldn't prove that he did it. Even if he used a VPN. Bullshit, y'all. The VPNs do not work. They still know everything you do, everything. They know your traffic. They know all of that. They full of shit. They might not know next year, but right at this point, VPNs, none of that shit work.
Kid for threatening to shoot up a school.
So there's no excuse that they're trying to say, well, they visited him, but they couldn't prove he actually wrote that threat. Bullshit. Bullshit. You know exactly. You see, I don't know how many times I done made a video about how they know what I post or looked at, and the shit I look at to the rest of y'all is boring. Y'all don't even want to look at, but just because I like it to y'all is something. Oh, you think you better than it. It's like what? You don't even care about that.
You guys can look it up yourselves. May of 2023, FBI knocks on the door.
And like I said, I can use VPN and I can't even comment on this video. It'll still disappear. My comments will still, I can't comment on any YouTube video. It'll disappear.
Father and the son.
So there's no way they couldn't know. Well, his IP address was different. He used it. Nope. All that shit, all of it are the tech companies.
You threatened to shoot up a school. December, the father gives him an AR, and then right after that, in what is it now? September of 2024, less than 9 months after he was gifted, this is what just happened. You still want to tell me that the problem lies specifically with the inanimate object or with the gun manufacturers or the gun lobby, as the left would try to morally browbeat you down?
They're not even trying to browbeat it morally. They know that we all know that. I know he's a YouTuber, but it's not. They're not even trying to morally. They're trying to play you. We all see the left doesn't have the tails, all of that shit. The Olympics, the DNC, they literally got hoes twerking, all that shit. And you're like, but you always talk about, and I'm not in charge of that. I don't want to be this and that. And if you're in that position, you got to have a standard. You are a standard.
The problem is a people problem.
Now, regular person, you get off work and I don't care if you're a millionaire, but you ain't in charge of nobody. You just, stack your loot legally. Yeah, you can have hoes twerking all day and night. You can just stack it up, rack it, whatever. You can do what you want, but if you the mayor, no, you can't have hoes stack it all night. No.
Problem. It is not an inanimate object problem, and we're not going to go give our rights away, the things that people have bled, sweat, and tears for, because the people are failing. The FBI was there. They knew.
Bottom line, like I said,
detail.
You know, they keep putting this stuff about uh yeah, CBS Sunday Morning, one act of kindness. You know, I'm just all this. Look, you could be this and that, but y'all look. Nobody is like, oh, this bus. Look. Why in America a bus driver has to be kind to you? No, there's no reason on earth. You're in an American city, New York, a big city with full time public transportation. You need an act of kindness. There is no fucking way. You was born here. That means you did not listen to your mama, your daddy, nobody. I don't care if you had a single mama. You didn't listen to nobody. Your uncle, your aunties. You didn't listen to no. If you need an act of kindness, you need to be put into a mental asylum. Something is mentally wrong with you. There's no excuse in this day and age. It's 2024. Act of kindness. What year was you born in? He's born in the 70s like me? No, you don't. You should. There's no way. That means you did not listen. And no, we should not have to act the cat. No, this is not 1,000 or 2,000 years ago when Jesus was on earth. This is not, where you got to do all, no. Everything is here for you. There's shelters, social workers, everything is free for you. Why? Matter of fact, they should more. If you join the program, the more than likely they give you a free bus pass because you're doing what you're supposed to do. So you can get to work, so you can get where you gotta go. No, you got to bed every night because you joined the program because you ain't doing drugs. So the rest of the people, they gotta jockey, get in and fight for a bunk at every night, even to like right now. Yeah, it's getting dark. They gotta head to the shelter so they can get a cot or whatever they do. But that's what they want. They rather be, get high and this and that. And it's summertime, so they probably like, fuck it, I ain't even going to the shelter. It's like, nah, bro, you need all that CBS and Democrat shit, acting. No, that's not Christianity. That's not an act of kindness. Real Christianity, I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to teach you to fish. I'm not going to give you a fish. That's what I'm saying. Democrats, devil worshippers, want to give you a fish. Here you go, bird feed you. Here, eat out my hand. Oh, exactly. They want to rub you on the top of the head while you eating out their hand. That's what a Democrat want to do. The rest of us, we want to teach you how to fish. Man, just go here. You can go get in this program. That's me teaching you how to fish. Cast a line. Go get in this program. Yeah, and they got job placement, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So once you get through, you stay clean. This time next year, you good. You should be good unless you just don't want to do it. That's all that means. One kind. There ain't nobody falling for that shit. We gotta do one kind. This. No. We know you're devil worshippers. I'm not finna bird feed these grown ass men. You're a grown ass man. I'm not finna. Hey, come on and I'll get you something to eat. I'll buy you something to eat. Or whatever. This and that. No. That's fucked up to that motherfucker. It's fucked up on that. That's what I'm saying. That's fucked up on my part, my account. Come on, man. I'll buy you something to eat. You got a girlfriend? I'll buy her something to eat too. Oh yeah, come on, you and the kids. Now the baby mama, her pussy getting hot. Yeah, exactly. It's like, nah, I ain't gonna do that to you, homie. Shit. I'm gonna talk to you on your own. You know, hey man, come here, let me talk to you. And da da da. Next time I see you, you and her and the kids, y'all on y'all. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that make me feel good. Oh shit, that's what's up. Yeah, we got us a little apartment. You know, it ain't much. Oh, that's shit. That's what's up, nigga. Shit. But y'all don't want to see that. Y'all hate to see niggas doing good. And now, when I say niggas, I mean like all men of every race. Y'all hate to see all males doing good. Demonic. But I'm out of here.